Hey there, Patriots. Hope you're doing well. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about a game that's probably the most realistic game you've ever seen. I originally saw this from an Optimus video, so I'll be linking that in the video down below if you want to watch his video on it. And I know I'm also not one of the few who've made videos on this, so by no means am I original in making this video. But I am making a video about this because I want to pile on the attention that this game deserves. Now, whether you are aware or not, if you've never seen any of my previous videos, I do not like building hype around video games. I've said it before and I'll say it again, and I'll say it even more. Hype can always be the death of a video game, but there is a difference between hype and showing hopeful interest in a video game. And that is what I have about this game. I tried looking online to see if the game had a name. So far from what I found, the game does not. The developer is just labeling himself as a developer working on a new game, and that's directly from his Twitter bio as well. Now, there really isn't a whole lot to go off of really as of right now, other than that the game looks incredible for a one-man game developer. The graphics literally look photorealistic. Sometimes that's just a compliment that people say about graphics, but this is both a compliment and a literal fact. When footage of this first landed on the beaches of the internet, people legit thought this was actual combat footage from like Ukraine. Hell, I'll go ahead and show you the clip of the game. However, of course, with just a little bit more time inspecting it, you realize it's just an incredibly good looking game. What really helps amplify that realistic look is the way in which this developer blends good lighting with blurry and muddy resolution on the screen that's supposed to represent like a body or helmet cam. And the position of the first person camera is more like a body cam that you see on police officers. For the combat, I think this game is going to have some of the most intense gunfighting combat that I've ever seen in a first person shooter. Games like Ready or Not, Insurgency Sandstorm, Rising Storm Vietnam, and Tarkov have some of the most visceral gunplay I've ever experienced in a first person shooter. And this game honestly looks like it could run with those games with intense gunplay, obviously because of the realistic setting of this game. Also, another thing I want to point out about this game is how unnervingly realistic the ragdoll physics are in this game. In that one scene where he shoots the NPC in what looks to be like a classroom, you see the NPC's body get tense and rigid like what a real body does when it is in shock from getting shot and from the pain, and of course, dying. A small attention to detail that some games don't do very well. Now, games like Ready or Not have done some pretty realistic death ragdolls, and they are about to update those and make them even more realistic. Some people find that creepy and weird, meanwhile, fucked up psychopaths like me think it's really cool. And speaking of people finding shit like that creepy, there are a few soy gamers who found this style of game to be offensive. And I don't know if this is a hill most people would want to die on, but I'm gonna fucking die on this hill because I feel like these clown replies are ridiculous. Also, by the way, I'm going to be censoring the names of these people because I don't want to encourage others to harass these people. Yes, they have dog shit takes, but that doesn't mean you should go out and harass them. But for the replies, this clown who says, I don't know if I want to play a game from the perspective I most associate with police murdering black people. First of all, black people aren't the only people police kill frequently during police shootings. And if you don't believe me, just go look up the statistics on how many more white people are actually killed by police than black people. Secondly, if all you do is spend your life being offended at shit you see on the internet and in media, get a fucking life and go outside and do something productive. Because clearly you aren't by being offended all the time on the internet. It's like these people are trained to think like this. You see something that you see all the time in media, so now you have to associate that with this as well. It's okay to think for yourself and not think you have to associate everything you see with what you see in media. Most normal people don't do that all the time. And then you got another clown take below this by this person saying, "My philosophy is if it doesn't improve the gameplay, then it's not worth implementing. I don't see what doing this would give an advantage over doing the normal first person way. I don't get why people find creativity like it's some type of crime. If you're complacent just playing generic COD like FPS games, then that's fine, that's what you like. But just because someone is making a game that challenges the safe way most companies make video games, doesn't mean that games shouldn't try something new because you don't want to. And don't get me wrong, I get that feeling, because that's how I feel about most Zoomer shooters. I don't like the super speedy running and the sliding and all that stuff, but I don't think those games shouldn't exist because I don't like that stuff. They exist because people like them, and I just simply don't play them because I don't like them. It's as simple as that. And for the last screenshot I'm going to show, this person says, "This triggered my PTSD. I don't agree with this project because I believe it may bother other people's psyche. However, I respect the grind and admire the art and respect anyone who agrees with this project or plays the game. First off, I'm sorry you have to deal with PTSD. It's a very serious thing and I won't make fun of you for it and wish you the best of health and happiness. But if you do suffer from something like that and these types of things trigger that, then you obviously should not be consuming that product. You should be playing some other game that fits with whatever your psyche can handle. The world doesn't revolve around you. And as I mentioned before, just because you don't like something doesn't mean everyone else can't either." So yeah, I just want to talk about this game real quickly and go over some of the hot takes that were in the comment section of the tweet. And I wanted to talk about it because I was kind of surprised at how many people were having these kinds of takes. Now, of course, I would be over exaggerating if I said there were a lot of these. There were quite a bit of positive replies to this, as well as other people setting reminders for this game, which I found kind of funny. But yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you when the next video drops.